Are you serious? Are you serious, folks? Well, here's the situation. The European Union is dying, literally dying, and it's going to fall fast. The question is going to be, what does the European nations do? How do they react? Do they break off into individual countries and create quickly these individual currencies? How do they maintain civility and order? How do they protect their borders when they've had open border policies in the EU? What happens to the the euro? What happens to the world currencies if the euro starts being pulled apart with creations of new currencies? Is that what the beware of April 12th warning is all about? Did forecasters financially of the beast see it coming? And here's my question to you. Will the collapse of the European Union bring about the New World Order, accelerating it? So there's been like a change of plans. Is this all part of the global elitist? Well, here's a report that coming from the Crusader Journal. France's Le Pen says that the EU will die, globalists to be defeated. This is the actual headline there at thecrusaderjournal.com. The EU will die. The EU will die. And that's what the France's opposition leader is saying. And globalists to be defeated. But the problem is, does the globalists actually defeat it? Or do they kick in the next phase just a little sooner than they wanted to? If Hillary Rodham Clinton had won the election, this would have been a gradual process, easing us in toward the New World Order. But with the election of Donald Trump and with the Brexit of Great Britain, there may be a scramble by the global elitists and some of the secret societies of the Luciferians to regroup under one nation, New World Order. Well, the European Union will disappear, says French presidential candidate Marine Le Pen. And she told on a rally on Sunday, promising to shield France from the globalization as she sought to fire up her supporters in the final 4 weeks before the voting gets underway in France. The unexpected election and victory of Donald Trump in the United States and Britain's vote to leave the European Union, the leader of the Eurosceptic and anti-immigrant National Front, known as the FN Party, told the rally in Lille that the French election would be the next stop in what she called a global rebellion of the people. She says the European Union will die. The people do not want it anymore. Arrogant. And these arrogant empires are destined to perish, she said loud to cheers and applause. The time has come to defeat the globalists, accusing her main rivals of being pro-EU and pro-market policies. Now, opinion polls forecast that Le Pen will do well in the April 23rd round of the presidential elections, only to lose in May the 7th in the runoff. That's what polls are suggesting. But the high amount of undecided voters means the outcome remains unpredictable. Folks, I'm going to tell you, I think France will vote to leave the EU, leaving only Germany twisting in the wind with a bunch of nations that are struggling. This is serious, folks. This is the collapse of the European Union. And this will be the formation, the rising very swiftly of the beast, much quicker than I even thought. Studying biblical prophecy for years, I began to realize that the victory of the British Brexit and the Trump election only put the global elitists on their heels. But the Brexit started the collapse of the European Union, and Trump's victory started the collapse of the establishment that was already in Washington. and has created this void for the world's elitist, the global elitist, to pull together in some possible a whole new world, a brave new world, if you will. According to the Bible, it will become a monster with 7 heads and 10 horns, and it will speak blasphemy everywhere it turns. If you read Revelation 13 for a moment, it says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw the beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." Now we know that this beast will be complex. It will have 7 heads. There will be 10 kings, 10 sectors. So in other words, the 7 continents divided into 10 sections, and each section has a king, and all 10 kings report to the Antichrist. The false prophet will be the spiritual leader that will keep everybody in line spiritually to make them walk the new world order's path. But there will be resistors, Christians, patriots, veterans, those who do want to be conformed, who stay under the grid, who will say, no, I cannot be controlled like a robot. I must have my freedom. And this groundswell will rise simultaneously. But there will also be the Church of Laodicea and the Church of Philadelphia parallel, traveling together, and they will divide, they will split. The great falling away will happen, and the church of apostasy will follow the beast, and its pastors and leaders will take people in that direction. And these are the false prophets that will literally lead the sheep into damnation. There will be a remnant who will not bow, who will not bend a knee, will not lift their tongue at all toward praise of the beast, but will have to, again, continue to move forward as we have always done. You see, the persecution of Christians has been going on since the early church, but it's going to get much worse. It's terrible right now, 50 nations of the world. And we can see the laws and the policies are changing, not only in the United States, but in all the Western world. No, this is it. It's starting to develop in front of our eyes. Keep an eye on Jerusalem. Keep an eye on Israel. That is God's prophetic timepiece. And as you watch the events unfold, that's why he said to watch and pray. For an hour you think not, the Son of Man cometh. Pray that you may be worthy to escape the hour of temptation that is coming upon the world. Yes, it's going to get intense. These are just the beginning of sorrows. So we will stay focused and vigilant, and I'll stay on the wall. Oh yes, I'll stay on the wall until the Lord calls me home. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. The beast is rising, but so is the church. Give your life to Christ. Don't miss today's live broadcast. Starts at 12 noon Eastern. I'm going to dig into this today. I'm going to dig into this today because I see the beginning of the collapse. The EU is collapsing. The beast will have, something has to fill the void. Now maybe there's a period of time of chaos, and this is the year of chaos. The Lord gave me a word, and I've shared it with you guys at least 50 times, that 2017 would be a year of chaos for the world, but a year of great blessings for the body of Christ. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're in the last days.